This is the Coins, Cashflow, and Conversation podcast, sponsored by Upstate Essential Solutions. I am your host, Dakota Grady. If you need help with accounting and taxes, it's almost tax season, y'all. The year end is coming. Get your taxes done. Contact me today at dakotagrady.com. And if you need help with your personal finances, I can help you with that too. And I've got a friend on the line who can also help you with your personal finances for millennials. But if you need help with personal finances, contact me today at dakotagrady.com. Hey y'all, welcome to the show. My guest today is Miss Jeanetta Spencer. She goes by Cash and Curls. So I want to have her on the show because we are like-minded individuals and I want to have her talk about money today, specifically the debt-free mindset. So Jeanetta, welcome to the show.
Hi, Dakota. Thank you for having me. I'm super excited to be here today, and let's go ahead and talk about it.
Yes, ma'am. So Jeanetta, tell everyone about who you are and what you do.
Yeah, so I am Jeanetta. I like to consider myself as a goal-oriented millennial who loves talking about personal finance and hair. So I help millennials learn how to save, a budget, and eliminate debt.
That's simple, huh?
Yes, yes. Yeah, I'd like to show them how to make paying off debt enjoyable and fun. And just show them like cool little ways that they can make managing their finances enjoyable.
So in our culture, meaning black folks, right? We're so bombarded with build your credit, build your credit, build your credit, right? And for you specifically, how did you have that mindset change and shift about living debt free?
Yeah, so honestly, it all started with transforming my mindset. So back in 2017, I came across a video and it really convicted me to get my finances in order. That video literally shared that, like, if you look very flashy, or many people that look very flashy tend to have the least amount of assets. And I was like, wow, that is totally me. So transforming your mindset is key. You have to change the way you think about money, and you have to change the way that you're handling money if you want to get out of debt.
So for the millennials who may have just graduated college, for example, have a ton of debt, and they feel like they deserve to spend money they work hard 4 or 5 years to college to get to college, and they feel like they deserve it. Do they deserve to go in debt and have fun too?
Definitely not. If you just graduated and you have student loan debt or any other type of debt, you need to get your finances in order. I would rather you do it now than to wait until you're like in your 40s, 50s, and you're struggling. Like, take this moment, sacrifice 1 to 2 years, maybe 3 years of your life, and clean up your finances. Like, you will not regret that.
Wow. So talk about mindset. I know on IG Live you mentioned scripture. You sound like you follow Jesus too, right?
Yes, yes.
All right. So talk about just how has your faith helped you on your journey as well?
Yeah, so faith is really big in my life. The scripture that I mentioned inside of the IG live was Romans 12:2. Do not conform to the patterns of this world, but be transformed by the renewal of your mind. And honestly, that scripture was like an anchor for me throughout my debt-free journey. Like, being young and paying off debt, no one in my community, in my circle, was doing those things. So I'm like, I cannot conform to what everyone else is doing. I need to transform my mindset and do something different. So definitely change up your environment, change up the people you're following, follow people like me and Dakota if you are really serious about trying to get your finances in order.
So I've been doing this for a minute, like a long time, right? And it's hard to find people like you and me. It's like we're outliers, and we're fighting against the culture of credit is the way to live. Like this guy I know, he had like his arm right, and he had his arm full of credit cards.
Yeah.
And he was like celebrating that stuff. I did a video before. Like, people, this is how people be when they get the credit. Yeah, I'm getting my credit. I'm getting my credit. I'm like, y'all, and they don't realize that they're going deeply into debt, making somebody else rich, and they're staying broke, right? So I'm like, talk about that mindset. I mean, why it, especially us, man, like Man, we getting so bamboozled. It's
Mhm.
like if you go down through town, through any city, the
Mhm.
biggest building you see there probably are banks and insurance companies. Is that fair to say?
Yes, absolutely.
And it's like, why are we so bamboozled? Because we meaning black folks made $1.6 trillion as people.
Wow.
But most of us make 30K less. We
Mhm.
don't own homes compared to our counterparts, and we
Mhm.
lack financial literacy. Yet we're balling out of control. We
Mhm.
got drip on. We got so much drip on, we drown in drip. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
But our lifestyle is what they call cap. It's a lot.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
talk about that, please.
Yes, like we have to stop believing what we see on the internet. So many people are capping on what they truly have and what they can truly afford. Like nowadays, I look at things a lot different than I did in my early 20s. Like, I used to be mesmerized and amazed, like, oh my goodness, these people are driving these type of cars, wearing these type of like jewelry, all these different things. And I was just like, as I got older, I'm like, okay, what is the true finances behind all of this? Like, did they really purchase that car? If they did, what is their monthly payments they're making for this car? I actually had a conversation with someone at my job. They shared that their car payment for this new car that they have is about $700 a month. And I'm just like, $700? Like, I cannot imagine myself paying $700 for a car note. And just think about all the other type of debt that they have as well. So they probably have that car, they probably have other credit cards, student loans. So they're just like drowning in debt at this point. But online, it makes it seem like, oh, they're winning, they're balling because they have the car, the nice clothes, they're going on these vacations. But no, a lot of these people are, paying for these things on credit. They are not truly paying for these things in cash. So definitely do not believe everything you see online. Take a moment and just actually think about the behind the scenes. Like, think about those monthly payments. Think about how many hours they're probably working to pay for these things. Think about all of the other things that we can't see on a quick Instagram post or, a quick little 30-second IG reel.
So I met with a guy. He had like a two-story house. Wife
Mhm.
had, she was at home with the kids. They got 3 kids, I believe. And now this was a white friend of mine. He wasn't black,
Mhm.
he was white.
Mhm.
They had like 2 or 3 cars in the yard,
Mhm.
and these cats struggling.
Yeah.
Talk about that, living that, living in the dream, living a facade,
Mhm.
and then you're struggling, but you don't want people to know you're struggling. Why? I
Mhm.
mean, is that why people don't want to get help? Because they don't want people to know that they're struggling behind closed doors?
Yeah, I think that's a major thing a lot of people are struggling with. A lot of people don't want to admit that they do not know how to manage finances. I feel like that's one of the main things. A lot of people do not know how to truly be a good steward of their finances. All they know how to do is just to pay their bills on time, okay? And I like to say this is, just because you're paying your bills on time doesn't mean that you're budgeting or you're managing your money. No, you're just strictly paying your bills on time. There are other factors into but like going into like budgeting and managing your finances. Like you need to know, are you saving each month, how much debt you have, what is on your credit report. You need to know these other things aside from just paying your bills on time. So first and foremost, I want to just say, like, you do not feel ashamed, okay? A lot of people are struggling financially. They just don't feel comfortable sharing that with other people because they don't want to ruin that facade of like, oh, I'm doing amazing, I look great. But behind closed doors, they're actually struggling. So do not be
Mm.
afraid to share with someone you trust that you are struggling. And secondly, I would recommend that you go online, go on social media, search the hashtag debt free community, debt free journey, whichever one you want to search, personal finances, and just find people who are open with sharing their journey. Like you and I are both open with sharing our journey of where we were years ago. Like we don't have a problem with sharing those things, and connect with those people and it just ask them questions. Like, you and I love to answer other people's questions about money, and we're more than open and we want to see you guys win. So do not be afraid to ask questions to people who are credible financial influencers or educators out there online.
Thank you for that compliment. So talk
Yeah.
about the importance of having a money plan. We got we got about 5 minutes on your time. So talk about the importance of having a budget or money plan. I know people don't have the word budget, so I use money plan, but talk about that, please.
Yes, if we need to go over time, I'm totally fine with that. But a money plan or a budget is crucial. Okay. This is the foundation to your financial future. Like, you absolutely need to have a budget. Like, not having a budget is not an option. If you do not have a budget, it's very unlikely that you will become debt free. Like, a budget literally tells you how much you can send to your debt each month. So if you're not budgeting, if you don't know where your money is actually going, how are you going to be able to know how much you can actually truly spend or send to your debt each month? So definitely budgeting is key. You do not have to use an Excel spreadsheet. There's so many free like budget templates out there, budgeting apps. So definitely check into those things. If you're not a person who likes to use Excel, but you can definitely get your budget done without using Excel. Download a freebie, download a free budgeting app, and get started with budgeting today and stop waiting. I feel like a lot of people is waiting to create that budget. They're just like, oh, I want to wait till I make more money in order to create my budget. Like, no, you need to know how to manage the money you already have, and then you'll be able to manage a little bit more later on down the line. But if you don't exercise that muscle right now, how do you expect to use that muscle when you're making like $100,000 or $200,000 a month,
So for us, meaning Black folks,
Mm-hmm.
because I know that some people gravitate toward people who look like, right? Some people they're open to diversity. But I'm speaking to us Black folks, right? Love everybody, but my goal is to help empower our community about money because I know we struggle financially. So for you, talking to a millennial making six figures, research tells me that even six-figure millennials or six-figure earners are struggling financially. And one reason why I believe people struggle financially, according to Caribbean, 78% of Americans struggle financially is because they don't do a money plan, a budget. We can't gloss over this, right? And that's important. Like you mentioned, that's the roadmap till you get out of debt. I had a guy tell me, he said he didn't have any debt. He was an older guy. Again, he wasn't a Black guy, he was a white guy.
Yeah.
He said he didn't need a budget. I'm like, I didn't tell him this. I'm like, bruh, wrong answer, bruh. You will never outgrow the need to budget your money. Is that fair to say?
Absolutely. Like millionaires, billionaires, they have a monthly budget. They know where their money is going. They may spend a little bit more, but they are doing it wisely. They're doing it within their budget.
Wow. So I want to end with this right here. First, I want to thank you for your time because I know that you're busy and honor your time. How can you encourage someone? It's the holiday season. This podcast is going to go hopefully before the end of the year because I do it weekly. And how can you encourage somebody, whether it's in this year or the beginning of next year or whenever they watch this 2 years from now, whatever, can you meet them right where they are, being a millennial or not? Encourage them, empower them, and give them hope. And thank you for your time, Jeanetta.
Yes, yes. So first and foremost, I want to commend you on listening to this podcast. Doing that is the first step. That's like planting the seed in you becoming debt free. Like, you have to get in the room. You have to join those conversations where people are talking about how to win with money. So I commend you for listening to this podcast, tuning in with me and Dakota, and honestly following Dakota's principles on living a financial abundant lifestyle. So first and foremost, congrats to you for taking that first step. Secondly, I want you to continue to change and kind of like swap things out of your life. So if you're watching TV all the time, swap TV for podcasts, swap that for motivational YouTube videos, swap certain things in your life so that you can start programming your life or programming your mind to thinking abundantly, thinking financially free. So you want to change the type of music you're listening to. You want to change the type of stuff you're consuming visually online and on on TV. And once you do that, I then want you to take a moment and just think about why. Why do you want to experience financial freedom? Why do you want to get out of debt? Is it to leave a legacy? Is it to build generational wealth? Is it to become a millionaire? Write down why you're doing all of these things and continue to reflect and think about these things as you start your journey, because it's going to get hard. It's going to be challenging, but you want to always go back to that why, because that why is going to keep you going and keep you moving. And lastly, I just want to say, celebrate all of your wins. Okay. Celebrating your wins is crucial. I feel like so many times we wait until we reach that big goal of paying off all of our debt. No, you want to celebrate. If you stop going to Starbucks, 7 times throughout the week, celebrate that. Maybe you reduced it down to 1 day a week. Celebrate that. Celebrate you not shopping on Amazon just randomly this month. Celebrate those little things and celebrate you saving that $50 a month to help you get that $1,000 emergency, whether it's, paying off an extra $100 on that credit card. Celebrate all of those small little things, because that's what's going to keep you motivated, and that's going to give you the fuel to keep going, to keep paying off that debt. So stay encouraged, stay connected with people who are trying to do the same thing that you are doing, and never be afraid to ask for help and to reach out, because there are people out there who are willing to help you and guide you on your journey of becoming debt free.
Wow. So y'all better connect with my friend Jeanetta Spencer. Jeanetta, how can we find out about you on social media and your website, please?
Yes, you can find me on social media, specifically Instagram at cash_curls. I'm also on YouTube. You can just type in Cash and Curls, and I do have a personal website, which is cashandcurls.com.
Awesome. Thank you for your time, Jeanetta.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And this is the Coins, Cashflow, and Conversations podcast. If you need help with personal finances, you can connect with Jeanetta or me. Our website is dakotagrady.com. Oh, and by the way, get you a copy of the book and the journal. The journal, email me at Dakota Grady, actually at dakotagrady.com. The book is online, my website at dakotagrady.com. Sponsored by Upstate Essential Solutions. This is the Coins, Cashflow, and Conversations podcast.